This is the Fifth Estate Winning Headlines, your media police post. In this segment, we summarize some of the headlines that you might have missed this morning. But we also take a look at the political pieces that we call cartoons in this country. Today is the 26th of June 2019, and I am 2J.
I am 2M.
And I am DM, sitting in for Ms. K. Let's get right to it and look at the day's headlines.
Yes. Very good.
The Standard.
Yes.
RUTO snubs Kinoti's top detective. Daily Nation. RUTO probe shifts to murder plot letter.
Yeah.
And finally, The Star. Assassination. Was RUTO letter fake?
So the assassination saga continues.
It continues. I suspect we are just on episode 2 out of 30.
Yes.
This will go on until 2022.
Oh, man.
So probably not on the headlines, but it will be in the news.
The Standard claims that there was someone, or there is a recording of what actually transpired in the meeting at Lamada. And,
Intriguing.
Intriguing. And so Kinoti sends his top detective, head of economic crimes.
That was actually quite curious to go and solve a murder mystery.
A murder mystery.
An assassination.
But
allegation mystery.
That's very clever from Kinoti. Yeah?
Why do you say that?
I mean, he's sending someone who is not capable of doing murder.
Well, maybe he had 2 briefs. The first one is to talk about the matters at hand, and then throw in some questions about that are financial in nature. So the headlines, yes. Okay, let's look at the criteria that we'll use to break them down.
Yes.
Are the headlines repetitive or groundbreaking? They're definitely repetitive, all of them.
Yeah.
Are they topical or speculative?
Topical.
Thoughtful or plain lazy?
Yeah. I like the Star headline. I think it
Star.
gets straight to the point. It tells us what we need to know. I would pick that up if I had to choose between the 3.
I mean, same here. They're telling you, could all this be manufactured?
I think I would pick the Daily Nation headline because it's more intriguing. This tells me is I'm going to read it and it's going to tell me whether the letter is fake or not, or that they're thinking it might be fake. But this one is RUTO probe shifts to murder plot letter. What do you know about the letter?
Yes.
But it seems that,
you have broken the tie.
The attention has focused onto the letter, right?
Yes.
It has.
But we want to do something on the letter.
Yeah, actually, let's solve this letter mystery.
Yes.
I'll be Detective DM for the day.
I'm Detective Kinoti.
And I'm a bystander who will just watch.
So the letter is, the first clue, of course, is your loyal cabinet secretary. So we do know that it's a cabinet secretary that wrote this letter.
Yes.
So it has narrowed it down from 40 million Kenyans to 22 people who are in the cabinet.
Right.
And then the other thing, which I found curious, is that the person has said, in my life, in my entire life as a public servant, I have never blah, 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 blah. So we know that this person has been a public servant. So we can do, by deduction, it is not Charles Keter, it is not Henry Rotich, it is not Kionjuri, it's not people who have been in political life before, it is not Magoha, it is not Matiang'i, who was an NGO person. So who does that leave us with?
Only one. Margaret Kobia.
By speculation.
Yes, by speculation.
Yes.
By speculation.
But then again, the letter may be fake. But if it's not,
that is very true.
Mystery solved.
Yes.
You're welcome. All right.
So what are we keeping?
I think we're going with the
Star.
Yes. Very
the
much
Star
agreed.
has our winning headline. We'll move on to the cartoons, and we also have a 3-part criteria that we use to break down the cartoons for you.
Yeah.
Is the cartoon humorous, or is it as dry as a military biscuit?
Yeah.
Is it satirical, or is it pessimistic?
Yeah.
And finally, is the cartoon effective, or is it
just
lazy?
Plain lazy?
Oh man, this one is funny. But before I analyze it, let me describe it. Caricature of a very scared looking William Ruto. And he's scared because there's overshadow. There's a shadow that
his own shadow.
His own shadow. And the caption there is, "My life is in danger." What Ozone is inviting us to do is to think that could William Ruto have manufactured this assassination plot.
Wow, he went so far.
I was going to say that he is scared by something that is his own
of his own doing
or creation. Yeah. That is a very good cartoon.
I think it's a funny cartoon.
So we can put it in the parking bay.
Yes. Who is this? Gado of the Standard.
Oh, he is a donut. All right. let me describe it. Caricature of Donald Trump in 4 screens. I'll read the first one. Another lazy serial liar, a joke, a dishonest buffoon. Second, a cavorting charlatan from a privileged and posh upbringing. Third, who has consistently racially abused women and minorities, and now he's pouting. And the last one is about to be elected to high office.
Yeah. So what's happening is the picture. The person in the image is slowly morphing from Donald Trump to what looks like
Boris Johnson.
Boris Johnson. Yeah.
Yes.
And the flag, if you notice, is also morphing from the American flag to the British flag.
To the Union Jack.
And also, I love this cartoon.
Yes.
And also the commentary there. Makes a paragraph that applies to both men.
Both men, exactly. So the context here is that it is. Well, the speculation is that Boris Johnson is going to become the new Prime Minister of the UK.
As I had told you
and that he is just another Donald Trump.
He's just another Donald Trump.
Same guy, different continent.
But they also look very similar with their hair. They're both very large.
And then they say very crazy things.
Yes,
but I told you again on this show before, Boris Johnson will be the next UK Prime Minister.
Congratulations, Prophet.
Thank you.
Daily Nation.
This is Ndula.
Ndula, whoa.
Cartoons are on fire today.
They are. They're brilliant. They're outshining the headlines.
Caricature of Moses Kuria. Wow. He's endeshing mkokoteni. And the mkokoteni is called Moses Kuria. And what the mkokoteni is carrying a big mountain called Mount Kenya.
Yeah.
And they're at Lamada. That's where he has stopped. And you know when they stop the mkokoteni, the man goes out like this. But the mountain is a little bit heavy.
Yeah.
And that's why Kuria
he can't carry his load.
Yeah, context of this is Moses Kuria said, I think yesterday, that he was the organizer of those meetings. These meetings. Yeah. And I'm like, I doubt it. I think he's trying to get favor.
Yeah, he's undertaking what you call in political theory, sucking up to the sovereign.
Political, Kimbele.
Kimbele.
So on that note, I might suggest that because Gado, we know that he has an international audience. We've talked about this before, but I'm going to say we toss it because right now I think the relevant cartoons are the Kenyan ones, and I'm going to say we
toss them. Fantastic. This is my best cartoon.
I would agree. Yeah, I think if you have to compare it up against Ozone, that is superior.
Very good.
So the Daily Nation has the winning cartoon for the day.
Absolutely. Now, my time. And now, our final thought. Inspired by 3 biographies. Autobiographies by Richard Branson. Man we greatly admire here at the Fifth Estate. First biography is entitled The Virgin Way. Second one is entitled Losing My Virginity. And third one is entitled Finding My Virginity. And
you seemed troubled.
I know. All right.
I wasn't troubled.
Well, give us that final thought.
All right. And the biggest takeaway from this is, before I go on to say The Virgin Way, and then you guys will do the other autobiographies. Okay. He says, your dreams are your own responsibility. And thereafter, I will go to describe the Virgin Way. And it says there are 4 imperatives for you to become a great leader. All right? And achieving them, you would need these 4 imperatives. The first one is to know how to listen. The second one is to know how to learn. The third is to know how to laugh. And the fourth is to know how to lead. Now, I'll go through the 4 of them. And to listen is not just to sit and to listen like a psychiatrist. You need to have conversations with people. You need to learn people. Second, to learn, right? You should sit, and he says you should sit and dine with your subordinates, right? It's not just about holding an ivory tower position, because there's so much more that you can learn, and they will also tell you what to expect in the future as a company. The third is to know how to laugh, right? You must know how to laugh, and not to laugh in the real sense of the word, okay? And he says that if you spend a third of your life doing something that you don't like to do, then you are not living up to your potential. That you should find something that you love to do and find the fun in it, all right?
Yeah, to be lighthearted. And
be lighthearted.
Having a sense of humor.
Absolutely. And last but not least, to know how to lead. And he says it's not always about money, all right? If you want to be a great leader, don't be in it for the money. You have to know when to make a difference. And the real difference, the best thing about life is finding something that will make a difference in everybody's life, including your own subordinates.
I love those. The thing about them is his tips, they're not typical.
Yes.
Except the last one, which I disagree with. There's nothing wrong with doing work for money or having a passion and then money being the end goal.
Absolutely.
For it.
Absolutely.
So as we continue, we're still talking about people who dropped out of formal education.
Yeah.
Yes.
So unlike the past three people we spoke about, Sir Richard Branson, he is knighted by Queen Elizabeth.
Yes.
He dropped out of school at the age of 16.
Yes.
So he was done with school.
Yeah.
But also he was dyslexic. So I think he found school a bit difficult. to endure.
Yes.
So the second book, Losing My Virginity, recounts the first 43 years of his life.
Yes.
And so it takes him through just before he left school, when he started the student newspaper, which was called Student.
Okay.
And I think it was so interesting because he found that he wanted to criticize the school and the way that they were teaching the students.
Yes.
And so he sold the first 50,000 copies, and he actually didn't sell them, he gave them away for free. Because he was able to raise £8,000 worth of advertising such that he could give it away for free.
Yes.
So from such a young age...
And that was a new model then, huh?
Exactly.
You had to sell papers.
Yes.
Yeah.
So from a young age, you can see this guy has this really incredible acumen for being an entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So if we just maybe front load some of the information, right now the Virgin Group, which is the group of companies, 400 companies in 50 countries, 60,000 employees, 24 billion in revenue. I mean, this guy, what he managed to do from the small newspaper to what he has today is amazing. So unlike Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs, who had exceptional talent, who were able to code, who had these incredible computer skills, Richard Branson is just a simple, everyday guy. He's a go-with-the-flow kind of person. And the thing that I took away from this book is luck. He said that he was just very lucky in some of the things that came his way. He says take failure in its stride.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He says that failure is what helped him learn how to be better. He says building a good team, and I think that's a lot of what you said with the leadership. He says that his team is the most important thing to him. He talks about passion as well, and I think that cuts across all the people we've spoken about this week. These are people who are very passionate about what they were doing. And then I think the most important thing when it comes to Richard Branson is diversification. This guy, he has Virgin Active, which is gyms, Virgin Atlantic, airplanes, Virgin Books, publishing, Virgin Care, hospital care, Galactic, he's going into space, holidays, in Kenya, holidays, mobile radio. This guy has his hand in everything. And I think it's such an incredible way to think about how you can be an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. And the thing about the people that we've also talked about is that they were driven by passion. And they weren't molded by the traditional education system as we know it. Something I intended to ask you guys on Monday. What did you want to be when you grew up?
A policeman.
I wanted to be a policewoman.
I wanted to be a DJ.
Maybe that's
you wanted to be a DJ.
Maybe that's why we're detectives.
Exactly, and we're pretty good at it. This is the thing. Richard Branson is the guy who grew up to be everything that everybody wanted to be when they grew up.
Yes, that's so true.
Even an astronaut, a spaceman.
Absolutely.
And even in banking and whatnot. And the last book, Finding My Virginity, is quite new. He wrote it in 2017, and it's actually a culmination of all he's talking about all his companies and the different anecdotes of where he got where he is. But then it also has his pet project, the Virgin Galactic, where he wants to make space travel accessible, and he says he doesn't want to do it out of ego. Hello, Elon Musk. He wants to do it to get people to go and see the Earth from a different perspective, to give people life-changing moments. The other thing that stood out for me is what you have just said to the diversification. I don't think there is any other businessman on Earth that is as prolific. And prolificness that spans the globe, spans continents, and also spans industries and areas. He's a banker, media man, he's in aerospace, he's even in politics with Virgin Unite. Remember he got the group of elders, I almost said Madonna, Mandela, Kofi Annan, and the work that he was doing in South Africa on HIV and AIDS. They're not being afraid to comment on controversial political issues.
That's so true.
Absolutely.
Really outstanding.
Yes, absolutely. There's a story he gives of, and this is about continuous improvement. A story he gives about Kodak in the 70s, and he says Kodak was the biggest camera manufacturer in the world. And they came across the concept of digital camera. But because they were afraid of
entering that space, it was a new frontier.
And extending their frontiers, they said, let's focus on the flaws of this digital camera. Now, they filed for bankruptcy in 2012 because their competitors took their flaws and they were able to mitigate them and went ahead with the digital camera, something that Kodak had invented.
Yes, and this is something that Richard Branson has done consistently in his career, is recognizing what flaws exist in a certain industry, even in government. I mean, before he started Virgin Atlantic, British Airways existed. It was successful, but then everybody hated their food, everybody hated their service, everybody hated their lounges, and he came in and corrected the exact things and did what people
unsatisfied with
were.
Absolutely.
And he also did that with trains.
Yes, in the UK.
Like British trains, going up against government. So it's really
I think
something
that has been part of his model. He says, where are the inaccuracies? How can I fix it? How can I make it better? And he says, first and foremost, I want to fix what I find annoying. And I think that's what Prof always says. And you said it yesterday, I believe. If you find a problem to fix, the money will always follow.
Absolutely.
Isn't that the story of M-Pesa?
Yes.
You want to send your grandmother money up country, you have to, I don't know.
Yes.
It was, bank transfers were very expensive. So you need to find somebody who's going on a matatu or a bus.
You send money, you give a matatu.
And trust.
Exactly, trust.
Absolutely.
Expensive. And also unreliable. And the time factor. Convenience.
Yes, absolutely.
Solve the problem and money will follow.
Absolutely.
Very true.
We have come to the end of Winning Headlines for tonight. We will leave you with a quote that personifies Richard Branson.
Yes.
And it's a fun quote. It is on fun.
Yes.
He says, corporate culture, it doesn't sound like a fun quote, but it is. Corporate culture, read fun, trumps corporate strategy.
Beautiful.
Have a good evening. See you tomorrow.